Jesus told his disciples this parable. A man going on a journey called his servant and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them, and made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled account with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 1 talent came forward and said, "Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting where you did not plant, and gathering where you did not scatter. So out of fear, I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here it is back." His master said to him in reply, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I did not plant and gather where I did not scatter? Should you not then have put my money in the bank, so that I could have it got back with interest on my return? Now then, take the talent from him and give it to the one with 10. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. But from the one who has not, everything what he has will be taken away. And throw this useless servant into the darkest outside, where it will be wailing and grinding of teeth." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. There is a first message, a first teaching in this parable that is obvious. We have all been given some gifts, some more and some less, and we have to be responsible for those gifts. That is, we have to put them to work for the service of God and for the good of our neighbor. It is evident that we are not all the same, not only men or women, but I mean, we have not all had the same opportunities in life. The type of family we were born, the country, the education to which we have had access, the health, the affection or the scorn received in those early ages, which mark the personality, of course, intelligence, everything. We are different. Sometimes within the same family, among siblings, we are different, not only in the way of being, but even in that, in health or intelligence. The Lord, who is just, will not ask the same of a person who is brilliant, intelligent, with a gift for people, nice, as he does of a person who is shy, or who has suffered a trauma, or who has not had access to studies. He will not ask the same. Otherwise, it could not be just. Each one of us has been given some gifts. These are responsibilities, and this is what the Lord is going to ask us for account for. This is the obvious lesson of this parable, which invites us to make an examination of conscience. What has God given me? What opportunities have I had in life? I have to perform for God and for my neighbor according to that. First, let's say vision of what jumps at first glance in this parable. Let's look at other details. First of all, we're talking about gifts. The Lord puts the parable and says that a man calls his servants his employees, leaves them in charge of his goods. The goods do not belong to the employees. They belong to the master, first detail. And there arises the first problem. We're not aware that we're not aware it is a gift that we do not have a right to. I don't know how it would be before, because I live in this era, But in the era is the era of the rights. Everything is a right. Even killing an innocent person has become a right. Everything is a right. And there are no obligations, no responsibilities. At least there is no instance in those obligations. Everybody claims, but nobody claims, because your rights are my obligations, and my rights are your obligations. From this perspective, the relationship with God has suffered a very serious deterioration, and the relationship with your neighbor as a consequence. We do not experience what we have as a gift given to us, but we experience as it's something natural, for which we do not owe anything to anyone. This is a gesture of immaturity, typical adolescence, and it's occurring at global level, and not only in a certain age of life. I want it all, characteristic of adolescence. I want it now, and I don't want to wait, and I don't owe anything to anyone. I have the right to everything. No, it is a gift. Entitlements are one thing. Gifts are another. You don't have the right to be intelligent, to be born into your family, to have health. You don't have a right. It is a gift you have been given. When you have it, intelligence, culture, health. When you have it in grade 10 or grade 5, what do you have to do? Experiencing it as something you don't deserve, but as a gift. What you have to do is effectively to give utility to it, to give it a product, a yield. I have been given a treasure, but it's not mine. It has been entrusted to me. I have to produce something for the Lord and for my neighbor. This is not how we see it. We do not give thanks neither to God nor to those who have intervened in this. For example, our parents. We do not give grace. We do not experience that we have that we have been lent something, that it's not ours, and that we have the duty to render for what we have been lent. As this is so, as we do not have the awareness that it's a gift, we immediately feel not only ungrateful, that is, not only we're not able to be grateful, but immediately we feel like victims. This is the second characteristic of our time, victimhood. Of course, there are many people who have been more than enough reasons to feel victims of injustice, of course. But I do not mean that. I mean, considering what we have, we deserve, immediately start to compare. It is as if those employees mentioned in the parable were to say with the one of 5, or why did he give me 5 and not 10 like the other one? Or the one with 1, why did he give me 1 and not 5? This is what we do. Not only we do not thank for what we have been given, which is a gift, and when we thank, we put it to work. Not only that, but we feel bad. I do not have what the other has. Look, the other, whatever it is, because sometimes ambition and envy is so stupid, so blind, that we're envious of things that someone else has, who has much less than us. If we are chubby, we are envious of thin ones. If we're thin ones and poorer or dumber, we are... And if we are black, or we are white, or we are tall, or we are thin, if our Q is this, or if our Q is that, or if it is the other. Optimism. And that is what makes our lives extraordinarily bitter. Not only does it make it unproductive, it prevents us from performing. But that is what makes us bitter people. Instead of seeing what we have, thanking God, enjoying it, being happy with what we have, which is not the same as the other has. Well, maybe the other has more than us. It is one thing, but not another. It doesn't matter. It is enough that someone has something, more in something, to immediately feel like victims. Victimhood destroys our lives. I insist. I'm not referring to those people who are really victims of someone's outrage. Well, but to the general victimhood that is paid. First of all, against God. Because those of us who have faith hold him responsible, even if we do not say so, but we hold him responsible for not having as much as we do. How many times have I heard people who have entered into a crisis of faith say, I have asked God for such and such thing, and he has not given it to me. Well, you have asked him for this, but in reality you have not asked, you have demanded. Secondly, you're not realizing what he has given you, and by not realizing, by not valuing it, by not enjoying what you have, you're going to lose it because you are making your life bitter. You're focusing on what is wrong, and only what is going wrong, not by valuing what you have left, or what you still have, or what you have had from the beginning. Sooner or later, you will lose it. Well, what I'm going to give you is an example that surely not by intention may bother someone. A person has several children. One of them dies to an illness or an accident. That mother, that father, both of them have such a great pain. So terrible, it is frightening. It is surely the greatest pain that can exist. That this pain leads them to close themselves and to think about the deceased child, and many times to idealize him. Well, but they forget that they have other children, and the other children who are beginning to understand and participate in the pain have lost their brother. The other children after a while begin to feel bad. It is as if my mother, my father, my parents only loved that one, and they have left me aside. I am no longer important, or at least they do not give me the love I need. Even those parents so hurt by the loss of a child, which is, I repeat, something terrible, forget to thank God for the time they had with that child. That is, which is an extreme example because I repeat, there is nothing similar, even if we have not experienced it, to the loss of a child. Even if it's so many things in life, we only see what we're missing. We're always comparing, always feeling victimized, always complaining. Look at the positive, look at the good, what you have had. You no longer have, but you have had it. And you have had it. Thank God because you have had it. Look at what you have left, take advantage of it. Thank God and put it to work. Maybe some things will come back, some things won't. What you have left is a gift that God has given you, and you have the duty to be grateful for it, and the duty to produce some fruits for God and for your neighbor. May it be so.